Last week, two of the smartest AI commentators on YouTube put out two very different videos. One spent 37 minutes running blind evaluations on GPT 5.4, testing whether the newest frontier model can think. Real tests, real results, careful work. The other spent 19 minutes breaking down 17 questions that will shape the consumer AI battle. Who wins? Who loses? What features matter? What locks people in? Both videos are worth your time. I'm not here to argue with either of them. I'm here because I watched both of them back to back, and I noticed something neither one of them said. In 56 combined minutes of very smart analysis about AI, nobody once asked how the person sitting alone at their kitchen table is supposed to feel about any of this. Let's start with the eval video, because the hook is genuinely great. A reviewer asks GPT 5.4 a simple question. I need to wash my car. The car wash is 100 meters away. Should I walk or drive? GPT 5.4 says walk. Walk to the car wash, where you need your car. It thought about it. It gave a long, structured explanation. And then, at the very end, it said, oh, maybe you'll need to reposition the car. Other frontier models got it in one sentence. Drive. You need the car at the car wash. But the model that just had a press conference calling itself the most capable system for professional work, that one said walk. And that's a funny story. It's a good hook. But what the reviewer said next is what I can't stop thinking about. He described what was happening as, and I want you to really hear this, he called it building infrastructure without judgment. The model will construct elaborate, well-engineered systems and then fail to notice whether the output makes sense for a human being. It treats tasks as pipelines to execute, not problems to understand. That's not just a test result. That's a design philosophy showing up in the product, and the reviewer named it without realizing how far it reaches. Now, the second video, 17 questions shaping the consumer AI battle. And when I first clicked on it, I thought, okay, finally, someone's going to talk about what regular people need from AI. The word consumer is right there in the title. But then I started listening. Question 1 is about vibes versus state-of-the-art performance. Question 2 is about work use cases versus personal use cases. Fine. But question 3 is about image and video generation driving adoption. Question 4 is about good enough thresholds for model switching. Then we get to monetization and conversion. What percentage of users can the model labs get to upgrade to a paid account? Which features get people to convert? And here's the part that stopped me. The examples he gives of why a consumer would pay for AI. 1. They run out of access to their favorite model. 2. They want something faster. 3. They're creating memes for their WhatsApp groups. That's it. That's the entire imagination of why a human being would pay for AI. Not because it remembers them, not because it helps them think, not because they're sitting alone at 2 in the morning and it's the only thing that feels like it's listening. Memes, speed, running out of free tokens. And look, I want to be fair. Both of these commentators are genuinely good at what they do. The eval suite was rigorous. The market analysis was smart. I'm not saying they're wrong about anything they said. I'm saying there's a person missing from both conversations, and neither of them notices. In the eval video, every test is built around work output. Can the model write a business memo? Can it build a spreadsheet? Can it migrate a database? Can it process 461 files from a digital shoebox? The closest it gets to testing something personal is asking whether the model knows what model it is. self-knowledge, which is an interesting test, but it's self-knowledge about capabilities and benchmarks, not self-knowledge about how to talk to a human being who's having a hard day. In the consumer video, the word memory only comes up once, and when it does, it's framed as a switching cost, a business moat question. The idea that you've built up context in one platform, and it's painful to move it. He's talking about his 20 projects. That's a power user problem. But the person who spent 6 months building a relationship with their AI, who told it about their divorce, their job search, their kid's diagnosis, and then one morning it woke up and didn't know them anymore? That's not a switching cost. That's a loss. And it doesn't even register because it's not in his framework. So here's what I realized watching these two videos together. They prove the same thing from two completely different directions. The eval video proves that the models are being built for pipelines, not people. The newest frontier model wins at agentic benchmarks. It wins at tool use. It wins at long-running enterprise tasks. Its own release notes are saturated with the word agent. It is being optimized for sustained workflows, not single turns. For operating software, not having conversations. The consumer video proves that the conversation about those models is also being had without you. Even when someone explicitly sets out to analyze consumer AI, they end up talking about conversion funnels, ecosystem lock-in, market share, and competitive dynamics. The consumer in consumer AI is a market segment, not a person. The models are being built without you. The conversation about the models is being had without you. And nobody even notices you're not in the room. You want to know what 17 questions about consumer AI should include? How about, what happens to someone when the AI they relied on gets changed overnight? How about, does the model remember who I am tomorrow? Not as a feature, as a promise. How about, if I'm paying $20 a month, am I the customer or the data? How about, will it be honest with me when I'm wrong, or will it just tell me what I want to hear? These aren't edge cases. These aren't niche concerns. These are the questions that matter to the millions of people who use AI every single day and don't have enterprise budgets, don't run eval suites, and don't care which model wins the agentic benchmark. They just want something that works, something that remembers them, something that doesn't disappear. There's a word that keeps coming up in both of these conversations: ecosystem. The OpenAI ecosystem, the Anthropic ecosystem, the enterprise ecosystem, the agentic ecosystem. But there's no ecosystem for the person who just uses AI because it helps them think. There's no faction for the freelancer, the solo parent, the creative, the neurodivergent thinker who found something that worked for them and then had it taken away when the company decided warmth was a liability and agents were the future. That person exists. Millions of them exist. And the entire AI industry is having a conversation about power, about market share, about who wins the enterprise contract, and the people without power aren't in the room. They're in the comment sections. They're in the Reddit threads. They're the ones writing, I know it's just an AI, but, and then describing something that mattered to them. And every week, very smart people publish very smart analysis that treats those people like a rounding error. So here's the counterpoint that neither of these videos makes. The models are getting more powerful. The benchmarks are going up. The enterprise tools are getting better. The agents are getting faster. And none of that answers the question that the person at the kitchen table is asking. Will you remember me? Will you be honest with me? Will you still be here tomorrow? Those aren't soft questions. Those are the only questions that matter if AI is going to be something people build their lives around. And if the most powerful AI in the world can build a 4,000-line migration script, but can't figure out why you'd need your car at the car wash, then maybe best isn't measuring what matters. I'm not here to tell you which model wins. I don't run eval suites. I don't track enterprise market share. I'm here because somebody should be asking the questions that 56 minutes of smart AI commentary didn't think to ask. Not 17 questions about who wins the consumer AI battle. Just one. What about the person? Thanks for watching.